I typically won't be working on a place like this, but since we're going to refinish all the metal on this one, it's not a big deal. And I got a little bit better light source right here where I'm at. So basically, we just have to take all this apart. This will be one of the hardest things you have to do, is take this screw out here and the one up here. But the first thing we want to do is we want to take this little shim screw out here. So I got my gunsmith and screwdriver set. Make sure I get the appropriate screw bit. Let's see if I can get this in the camera. Basically, you just take this little screw out. Once you have that out, it's just a little piece of spacer. I don't know if this was added aftermarket, because a lot of these do not have this. And we'll set our screw aside. Alright. The next thing we want to do is we want to take these springs out. And there's really no easy way to do this. What I find works best is a set of dental picks. And if you will just take your pick and pull that spring and pin out. You have one on this side, and then this one you can't take out until you take this screw out. And it's hard for me to look upside down on the camera, but you have this screw. Focus. Right here that you need to take out. Just loosen this screw out, and I just use this shaping spoon because I've already, for the sake of videos, I had for time's sake, I already had loosened this up, but booger to get to where it's at. So a lot of times you can just take a regular screwdriver bit out of your set and pop it in there and turn it out. But now once you have that out, this is actually what holds your barrel release in. You can push that in like so, and kind of slotted. You have to get it off there. I'm probably making a pig's ear of this, but once you have that up, you can take your pick and hook inside this little keeper here until you can pull it out from around. Actually, you know what? We'll just pull up on this and just pull our selector lever out. And then you can remove these out the bottom. Now this is got a flat spot on there, and it'll only go in and come out one way, so you have to find where it lines up. There it goes. If you see, this has a flat spot. It'll only go in one way. You have to put it in, work it around until it'll go in, and then you can pop it right back out. Okay, that was the booger that we was getting out, is that little piece that goes, because this actually goes around that with your lever. If I can get it all back together for sake of showing you. Basically, this goes through here, and this fits up inside of there like that. So we got that apart. Alright, next thing we got to do is take out our hammer spring. The best way that I found to do that is to just drive, because we'll go ahead and take our hammer pin out. Alright, the best way I know to do this is to drive out this pin right here. That'll allow you to take out your hammer. So, use the top of this coffee can, like so. Use my brass punch and just drift out this pin. You see the pins out, then you can wrestle your punch back out, and once you have that, you see how far up your hammer spring will go. And then you should be able to handy, be able to pry this out of its spot. If you can get your hammer out, that makes everything so much easier. You can pull your hammer out, then that'll allow you to just pop your spring and plunger out. See, this goes through here up into the hole into the frame. With that out, that's what holds all this good mess into place. If you see how this right here pivots, you have to drive out this other pin. So we'll take it, drift it out. You'll have to forgive me because These pins haven't been taken out in a very long time, if they've ever been taken out. Let's try drifting that one out from the other side. Usually I would have this sitting on a block on my table, but due to the, see, if you have trouble going from one side, flip it over and go to the other, because this one's crowned and kind of peened on one side, so it'll only go out one direction. See the pins coming out now. Drift her out. And like I said, don't worry about it. That's why we have brass punches. Problem is it's bouncing around so much on this coffee can. On my solid workbench, it'll just drive right through. Alright. Pin. I thought it had fell through. At least we can, got it halfway out, we can take this keeper section out. That'll give me the ability to line up a little better on my pen. I get a steel punch. Because this little booger's wanting to be a handful. I'll drive this pin out and be right back. Alright, for right now we're just going to leave that pin in for video's sake. I'm going to show you. There's a screw down inside here that goes into the trigger guard. You want to get into it and loosen it out from the top. Remove it. A lot of people will end up tearing up a firearm like this by trying to take and twist the trigger guard out of that. So make sure you take that one out. Then you can take this other screw here out. And that'll have your trigger guard release. And your trigger, basically all it has is a little lever spring right here. You just drift this pin out. Find the appropriate punch. A lot of times with these you can just push them, almost push them out by hand. This one wants to make a liar out of me on video, so let's get our real tiny punch. Drive it out. You have your pin out, and you have your spring. Basically, you just have a little spring that the little short lever fits up inside the trigger like so, and then this rests against the back of your trigger guard to give it operation on the sear. And that's about it on the, you can take out this little screw right here. I gotta de-junk it before you can remove this and pull out your firing pin. I can't get to it right now because of the the crud that's down in here. I'm going to have to clean all this out. There is one more pin right here that you never need to remove. This is your pivot pin. If this is wore out and broke and you need to replace it, I actually have a separate video on that. It shows you actually how to replace this. That was what was wrong with Rusty Krusty why it wouldn't close. But I got to strip all this down. Best thing to do would be to take all this and chunk it in a sandblasting cabinet. But since I don't have a sandblasting cabinet, we're going to do it all by hand. I'll take it all down, strip it all down by hand with the metal, clean it up, and then we will recoat it.